Hi, welcome to Decolonizing Your Mind Around Sex for those with Female Anatomy 101. Take a fucking seat, classes in session, ho. Imagine as an actual college professor, I walk in like, take a seat, ho. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about, as the first real section of this course, my story. For those of you who want to know how this is going to work, basically what I've decided to do is, as I film this course, I am going to be posting 10 to 15 minute clips of the beginning portion of the course on YouTube, and then I'm gonna clip it, and those who want the rest of it, as in the full extension of the lessons in the course, you're gonna, that'll be for purchase. And I think that's honestly perfect for everybody involved, because I don't know, I'm autistic and I don't want to keep repeating myself. So I'm like, I don't want to have to make a clip for YouTube and a whole video and then make a whole course about, so it works for me, but also I think it works for you guys, because I don't know about y'all, but I hate consumerism and capitalism and how everything's up for purchase, etc., unless it's actually benefiting me. And I think this is a way for you guys to invest in something that you know is actually going to benefit you. It's not you just buying another thing you're not going to use, and or not really knowing where your money's going. Because I feel like people are really good at like baiting, switch, bandwagoning, saying the perfect thing to make their stuff look digestible and like it'll serve you, and then you get it and you're like, oh ho, it's like movies where they show you the best scenes or that one funny line in the movie, and the rest of the movie fucking sucked after you went and saw it. And I don't want to do that. I think this is a great way for you guys to see what you're going to be actually getting. I know a lot of you are already like, girl, give me the fucking course. I listened to you talk for like 3 fucking hours. Be prepared to do that, because the course is going to be video format. It's also going to have references, visual and visual aids for my visual learners. So I'm going to show like with diagrams and anatomically correct positioning of where certain spots are and located. All that shit. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I want to start talking about my story in this, and just why I really felt led to make this course, teach what I'm doing on YouTube, TikTok, and even, in general. Say hi to my little girl. What do we name her? I'm thinking Penelope. She just gives that vibe. Gwendolyn? I like Gwendolyn too. You guys let me know in the comments, Penelope or Gwendolyn. I can't see myself. The sun gotta do better. Okay, we're just gonna work with what we got. Again, who said you can't be an influencer? This is all it takes, is working with what you got. You know what I'm saying? Dark circles intact. Can't do much about it. I think I look a little bit awful, but don't judge me too hard, okay? We're just gonna go with it, because I'm getting stressed the fuck out about the sun and how hot it is. And how it's fucking up my fucking phone. My phone got so hot I couldn't see myself, and that was stressful, and I want more sun, but I don't want my phone in it. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I got my mind made up. Okay, let's talk about my story, though. I just want to talk about how, I grew up in an all-white farm town. You know what I'm saying? I was, at a young age, I feel like uneducated about sex. My mom didn't tell me anything. Like, my sex talk was her going to the store, pointing to some condoms and saying, yep, that's what you use, but if you get pregnant, drive far out to the desert, dig a hole, and wait for me. That was literally my talk, and I'm not exaggerating. So, yeah, I just knew very little. And growing up autistic, I feel like that's so dangerous, because by the time I was having hormones, I was very overstimulated by it. And as a survivor of CSA, which is child sexual assault, I think that my siblings who also went through we were all victims of it because of other autistic children in the home, because my mom's a foster parent, adoptive parent, or whatever, in the home, who were overstimulated and trying to do something about that urge, because they don't teach you like how to control your bodily urges. Like, it feels like a need when you're so young, and a lot of us operate out of that even in adulthood. Like, with Puritan culture, they teach you, to wait till you're married, wait, don't feel this, and then you enter the adult world and suddenly it's silently okay, no one gives a fuck whether you wait or you don't, so we all just kind of wait till we're old enough to essentially get away with it, and then we go do it, and we're so relieved to take care of that urge. We don't really understand that there's more to it than that there's energy involved, safety, there's no spiritual or even anatomical healthy ways of teaching people about their bodies at a young age, and I think we really need that. Like, fuck, bitch. I know I'm getting nervous, like, guys, I'm just talking to you, but you guys make me nervous. The thought of you guys perceiving me while I talk about this is kind of vulnerable, but it's okay. This is a heavier topic, but we here. I was trigger warning, guys, this is a heavy one, but I was molested by my mom's boyfriend at the time when I was 6 years old, and it went on for months before I ended up finally telling my mom, and I didn't even know what it was or that it wasn't normal. She just tried to strap me in my car seat at the time, you know, like I had a booster seat where they have to, like, you know, you push the thing down in front or whatever, and she went to push it down and I flinched, and she's like, are you okay? And then I told her, you know, so-and-so made my so-and-so hurt, and that's how she found out, and I didn't even know that wasn't normal, and she never really talked. She just cried, said she was so sorry. Yeah, that shit's hard to think about, sorry. I'm like, am I supposed to cry? Like, I thought I was okay to talk about this, but yeah, and she just put on Barney and let me watch my favorite shows for the rest of the day, but there was never really a talk about it, and she didn't do anything about it, you know what I'm saying? This man attended our church, like, she didn't want to fuck up being foster parent of the year or be seen as an unsafe home, so nothing was done. Obviously, she broke up with him, but that's about it. That's the only justice I really got in that instance. And then growing up, she was just, there was no accommodation. My mom's a narcissist. She was very abusive, and she was not educational or informative even about periods. Like, when I started my period I started in 5th grade. I started young. I was forced to wear tampons. And when I say forced, I mean, like, she forcibly inserted type shit, like, forced to wear tampons and told that I was too heavy to wear pads and she wasn't gonna be washing my laundry. Yeah, I've been through a lot of shit, guys. And then, you know, there was some more CSA from children in the home when I was 12, 13. And then, again, by teen boys as I got older. Then again, at 18, it was like a karmic cycle, I swear to God, every fucking 4 years. It's fucked. Not saying it's like my karma, just like it just felt Sicilic. Anyway, then by the time I was 18, my ex-girlfriend at the time, her sister's boyfriend and her were fighting, and he got really drunk and came into our bedroom. And long story short, just, yeah, while we were sleeping, did some stuff. It's just been a lot. And I feel like because of that and being taught to just kind of keep it pushing after I was 6 years old and really violating shit happened to me. And again, never having any sex education, also growing up closeted. So when I did have hormones, I couldn't really talk to my mom about it. Every time I did try to tell her I wasn't like feeling sexually attracted to boys, she's like, wait till you're like 16. I'm gonna have to beat you off of them with a stick. 16, telling her the same thing. Oh, just wait till you get older. You know, boys are kind of icky. That's kind of a normal feeling. She's like, I still kind of get grossed out. Mind you, I think my mom's literally a closeted lesbian. And one time she texted me drunk that she was. So not really the best example, but yeah, because of that, I just never had an upbringing in it. There was no knowledge, and because I grew up sex being a really big deal to me. Sorry, I don't look at the camera. It's the autism. I get awkward. Let me try to make eye contact with myself. Hey girl, what you doing? Me making jokes as I'm talking about something serious. Sorry, the sun is bright. I'm squinting at y'all. I'm not giving y'all eyes. It's just bright as fuck. But me at 18, 16, just through the teens and stuff, feeling the feelings I was feeling for women. There was so much shame around it. I didn't feel free to, and even when I did, it was very in secret, and it led me to get groomed online. Like, my first actual real hormone sexual experiences was with, you know, women that were way older, and it was the first time I was experiencing hormones, and that type of sensation, pleasure, stimulation to the mind, the dopamine hit, 'cause I was being traumatized in my childhood home. I have a very traumatic childhood. Like, a lot of it qualifies as childhood torture on several studies. But I might share that story on TikTok someday. I don't know. It's a lot. But because of that, though, sorry, it's like hard to talk about. It's all like jumbled. But because of that, I sought out pleasure and dopamine hits. You know, being autistic, also, and I feel like one of those autistics that, you know, literally masturbation became a stim for me, and it wasn't just because I liked it, but it was also the dopamine hits that I was getting because of like I said, the abuse. And being groomed made me figure out sex and porn at a young age from, again, the wrong environment. I should not have, like, the first time I thought I was really falling in love, she was 21. The second time, every time a plane goes by, I like clamp up now because of everything going on with planes. I used to love living by like airports and like a landing strip for planes, and now I freeze. But anyway, my next one that I thought I was really in love with, she was 27 and I was 16. The 21-year-old, I was 14. You know what I'm saying? It was fucked. And so those were the experiences that I was having, and both of them, you know, glorified me for my looks and how sexy I am. And, you know, going to an all-white school where boys were coming up to me saying, "You're disgusting," man, did I love that attention. Like, it's like women was entering a whole new world, not just because it was actually me, but because the attention I was receiving. Like, it felt like hitting the fucking secret jackpot. On top of having that secret life and that almost being a pleasure sensor dopamine hit in itself, I loved having like a double life that like nobody knew. Like, Maxton by day, by night, you know what I'm saying? Like, little vixen side, I don't fucking know, you know? So I just never really had the healthiest relationship with it, and that didn't stop when I became 18, and I learned that there was a lot of fast money in sex work. Now, I never actually like slept with anybody for money or anything like that, but I did sell photos. Some of me, sure, but by the time I was like 2-3 months in, you know, screen recording was a thing, and I got smart with it. So I noticed men don't give a fuck, they'll just pay. So I would just go to Pornhub and look up videos that they'd make requests. I would just go look up the videos, edit it, film it, edit it, whatever, and then send it to them. So they basically paid for free porn, but that's what they get. That's what they fucking get. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a gay Robin Hood. And also, I saw myself doing a service dead ass, because one of my sugar daddies, he told me I was literally his daughter's age, and that disgusted me. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna rob you for all you got. Like, I'm gonna rob you for all you got. I feel like there was maybe one sugar daddy that I actually felt bad about, because like they seemed like a sweet guy and they liked me, and I was genuinely in it for the money. Like, again, I was not right in the head at 18, 19. Y'all see me spiritual, awakened, 25, frontal lobe, fucking cooking, developing, rotating like a rotisserie. Back then, lights on, nobody home, unfortunately. And I was not making the safest choices, which I don't know, I feel like a lot of people don't at 18, 19, especially in that area. So it was just, it couldn't have been helped. And then you mix the pressure, because again, I grew up Christian and strict. My mom had cameras all over our fucking house, because my little sister, fun fact about me, she has cerebral palsy and autism. So she has to eat, and like she has like comes with like a lot of the swallowing problems that come with cerebral palsy and autism, and motor responses. Like, her brain doesn't tell her body to swallow in the way that it's supposed to, etc. But because of that, we have cameras all over the house, because she also had seizures, and we had to like monitor when she could be having them, because we found out she could be having them in her sleep. Sorry, my chain is literally burning me. That is like how hot the sun is. Mind you, it's not that hot. It's only like 78. Like, I'm in California now. I can handle me some heat. Guess not though. Also, I can't tell if my edge is sweating and lifting. If it is, your mama. Anyway, so there was no sneaking out, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I found a way, I did, to sneak out once, but I learned my lesson the hard way, because that ended in assault of types 2. Like, damn, a bitch can't win for losing. Anyway, so I came off really pious, reserved, awkward to my friends, between the autism and then the religious trauma, and trying to make myself as small as I could be to protect myself at an all-white fucking school, bitch. You know, so by the time I was 18, I was tired of being made fun of for the girl who didn't go to parties, the girl who didn't do anything. And I had moved out of my mom's house, and I was still in school, because my birthday was in March and we graduated in May. So I was going to parties, and I got my first girlfriend, etc. So I was just like ready to experience the world and go fucking crazy, like typical like Christian girl gets out for the first time, has her first drink type vibe. Sorry, I have makeup under my nail. Anyway, and as you can imagine, that was damaging. It was, and I didn't really know that I wasn't doing it for me, because I was getting the attention, and that felt good. But like, I remember the first time I had sex with my girlfriend at the time, I was just sitting there like, I want to do this so bad. And I just kind of felt, oh, at the end of it. Like, it was nice that we were doing it, but it still just kind of felt like it didn't feel any different than what I was doing with my own hands or a vibrator. And I just thought maybe I maladaptively daydreamed too much, because I grew up reading fan fiction. Okay, that was my escape. That's actually how I started. Not to cut me off, sorry, iPhone fucking storage, bruh. I'm so tired of that shit. But yeah, Once Upon a Time was my favorite show, and I became obsessed with it. It was like a maladaptive thing. I started reading fan fiction, and then I forget how I discovered it, but I stumbled upon the role play community on Twitter. Being autistic and already wanting to not leave the world of Once Upon a Time, between the fanfics, etc., you can see how that was literally a recipe for disaster. Also, I don't know why my lips look so chapped. I promise you they're soft and moisturized, y'all, but no matter what I do, you know, I heard that that's like a symptom of low cortisol, which is so fucking annoying. But anyway, okay, the heat's overstimulating me, so we're gonna go inside and finish filming inside. New location unlocked. Okay, we're back inside, y'all. I was so overstimulated with the heat and my autism. I was just not having a good time. But yeah, I just was basically saying it was just all a bad rap. And I never in that learned how to listen to my body. If you hear anything, it's my fidget spinner. But I never listened to my body. I was never taught to listen. And a lot of us are that way. I feel like, I'm looking at my notes, by the way, if you see me looking down. But I feel like a lot of us, like, we think like something is wrong with our body for not liking sex as much as other people. I know a lot of people in my comments when my TikTok went viral are on the ace spectrum, like asexual, demisexual, sapiosexual. The fact that we even have titles for that kind of like baffles my mind, because like at the end of the day, I just really feel like it's our body rebelling against the conditioning. In fact, I think it works better than most. I think our body is working better than most, being the type of people who are asexual, demisexual, etc., to feel like so wrong that it affects us psychologically or even on a neurological level to be exchanging energy with someone so casually sexually. Because a lot of people think that asexual means that they just have no sexual attraction. It's an umbrella, you know what I'm saying? It's an archetype. It's not just one archetype even fits all. It's like an archetype within multiple. And there's demisexual, there's sapiosexual. So you have to be intellectual enough for us to get sexual with you. Or demisexual, there has to be just some type of established connection where the person is comfortable for them to start being stimulated cerebrally enough to consider you. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's like baseline us operating the way we're meant to with it and not out of conditioning. Because I feel like every person I've met as a life coach who I know is hypersexual, it never usually comes from like an organic place. It's usually always trauma involved or shame involved. Some women do it in the name of self-liberation, not really understanding what liberation looks like for women. When it comes to patriarchy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's never usually from that grounded perspective of just like, I like sex, it's fun, so I do it. You know what I'm saying? There's always a subconscious, deeper level layer of something going on. And I feel like because there always is, and that's something that I'm always seeing again as a life coach, etc., I think, you know, common phenomena is something to be observed, you know, and people might hate to hear me say that, but I just think it's true. That's no shame to anybody. If you're in that phase of your life, I'm not shaming you. I don't want you to feel bad for how you may cope with your trauma. You guys just heard some of the stuff I've been through. I understand it, but I think through, you know, this course, you'll hopefully at the end understand how sacred and beautiful it really is when it's utilized right, and how if you are going to be hypersexual or active or really sexual, that's fine too. Just know where your energy is going, know what you're doing, and know at least how to get the best time out of it, boogie bud. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like as a Black woman, realizing the cultural significance that the patriarchy had on this and colonization had on this is something that I could never just like unsee, and it just made me really sit with myself. I honestly went through an autistic burnout too, really bad, on and off in the last 3-4 years after my narcissistic abuse. That made me really have to sit with myself and sit with my hypersexuality, because I was just done putting myself in unsafe situations. I dated a narcissist a few years back. They're actually on my YouTube, like my first video ever. They're in that one. I wanted to take it down, but that video was so significant to me because it was my first little YouTube video ever, so I haven't, because it shows my evolution as a creator and just where I was. I feel like I look different than since that video, all of that, so I keep it as like a memory capsule. But yeah, it was the most psychologically draining time of my life. I'm still recovering from the mental wear and tear it took on me, and even physical, because I got stomach ulcers from the stress of being with that person, and the sexual abuse that happened in that relationship was enough to do a number on me and make me really just sit with myself. And I started kind of realizing through the dynamic while we were dating, like I have a lot more sexual trauma than I thought that I kind of need to sit with and heal. Like it was through our sex that I realized like, oh, actually I don't think I want punched in the face. Well, not punched, that's dramatic. Smacked in the face. I don't think I want you to spit in my mouth in that way. Like, I don't think I want this. I don't think I want that. I think what I want is passion. I think that I'm confusing aggression and passion, or even like maybe I want passionate aggression. I don't just want aggression. I learned through that relationship that I didn't know enough about my body, or honestly human bodies and the way that they function, because homegirl accused me of blue balling her. And I was like, oh my God, I feel bad. And you think that that couldn't happen to, you know, LGBT relationships? But no, she would literally tell me that her clit would swell, get hard, and then start hurting. It would get to a point where it hurt. And my little autistic brain back then, I believed it, because, you know, she did have higher testosterone levels, and she did have, I don't want to put all her business out there. Long story short, her anatomy, to me, it made sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it made sense with the way that she was like designed. I was like, oh, maybe it really does get harder and starts hurting. Like, oh, you know? And so I got myself really abused out of that because no was not on the table ever. She would coerce me, throw tantrums, get angry at me, get passive aggressive, say I don't love her, cry and say just leave her in there to touch her. Just a lot of shit, bro. And we even got in a fight at one point because I would tell them, they'd be like, you used to be so you know, in the beginning of the relationship, what happened? I'm like, I don't feel like we have that intimacy. I don't feel like I'm emotionally or intimately stimulated enough to feel safe with you in that way. And she turned that on me, and somehow that was a me issue. And like, had I known how the body operated, how my body was operating, and even my body's and my nervous system's warning signs of no, this isn't safe, no, we don't want to, and we're clamping up because of this, instead of blaming myself like we all do as women. I feel like when we're taught to do as society, like, oh, there's something wrong with me for, I may or may not share more parts of that in the course that is a little bit more explicit. I don't really know though, because I get uncomfortable trauma dumping to the internet. But I might talk more about my childhood and what I really went through. But yeah. I'm getting ready to clip it so we can start going into some of the course. But thank you for listening to my story. If you saw this, I just want to say that that is basically why I do what I do, because had I known and had someone educating me, I would have known she was manipulating me. You know what I'm saying? I would have been able to advocate for myself and my body. I would have known and probably left a lot sooner in that relationship, knowing my nervous system is telling me I'm not safe with you. And that's another reason that I'm going to cover nervous system regulation, what that looks like, what that feels like, what a dysregulated nervous system looks and feels like, what you can do to regulate it. I'm going to be giving you guys somatic breath work, exercise suggestions, etc. with, you know, because it's going to come with, okay, so the course is going to come with 4 to 6 videos long. It'll have visual aids, references, book recommendations, breakdowns of each section. Like, I'm gonna do bullet points of like key takeaways for each video, because, you know, sometimes it's just good to re-jog the memory, or you can use the key to see which video you need to watch for what problem you're facing. Because I'm gonna, you know, give you guys advice on how to handle dealing with trauma responses around sex, dealing with trauma involving sex, all of that. So yeah, but thank you for listening again to my story, and I hope you guys love this. Hope you guys love the course when it comes out. I'm working diligently and hard. I've been stressing myself out because I want to get it out to you guys quick, but I want it to be quality over quantity, or fucking whatever. Quality over just getting something out quick, and it'd be, yeah, quantity. So my storage is tweaking and I have to go. I love you guys so much. Keep your eyes out for the course. Thank you so much for listening to my story, watching, subscribing, supporting. I'll see y'all on TikTok. As usual, say goodbye to Penelope. Give her a kiss. Love y'all.